The verse from the Gita, Karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma palaheturbho mate sangotva karmani, has within itself the secret to living a fulfilled life. And I think this is the missing piece to manifest the life that we truly want to live. So in this video, we will go deep into the teachings of Karma Yoga and Bhagavad Gita, and we will understand three important concepts to understand conscious creation and to master law of attraction. Now coming to the translation of the shloka that I read in the beginning, it says you have the right to work only, but never to its fruits. Let not the fruits of action be your motive, nor let your attachment be to inaction. Here Krishna specifically tells Arjuna to move away from inaction. So a place of inaction is also not a great place to be for most of us. So we need to focus on our goals. We need to detach ourselves from the outcomes of those goals, but we need to perform that action and perform the task at hand in the best way possible by giving it everything that we have as an offering to that divine consciousness. This is Karma Yoga, and this is the way to success as per Krishna. Part 1, let's talk about the premise of Karma Yoga. To understand Karma Yoga, we need to understand the three main aspects of Karma Yoga. The first aspect is selfless action. Basically, when we perform actions, when we are not associated with the ego or when we are not identified with the individual ego, such action can be called as Karma Yoga. Second, detachment from the outcome. So, whenever we are performing action, when we are obsessed with the outcomes of our action, we take in a lot of stress and also the efficiency of the work decreases. Not only this, when we understand the mechanics of karma, it is extremely important that we perform the actions without any attachment to the outcomes of it. We will understand why this is important even for manifestation in the next part of this video. And the third point when it comes to Karma Yoga is about surrendering to the infinite intelligence. Whether you want to call it God or pure consciousness or your higher self, it doesn't matter. But it is important to surrender our work and the actions we take to that infinite intelligence so that we can come out of the burdens of our actions. Now in part 2, we will understand why performing action while being detached from the outcomes of the action is key when it comes to manifestation and law of attraction. Many people are familiar with the teachings of law of attraction, and millions of people have read books on these subjects. But why do these teachings work for some while they don't work for some others? What is missing here? And how can we fix this? And I think the answer to this lies in Karma Yoga. Now look at any high performer, whether it is in cricket, in basketball, in music, in dance, etc. Whoever is performing at the optimum level, that person is beyond their ego, at least during their performance. This is because when we are identified with our egos and when we constantly think about how someone else perceives us, what will people say, what should I do now, is what I'm doing right? It's because when we are identified with our egos, we struggle to perform actions efficiently. When we are identified with our egos, we are worried about what others think about us. We are stressful, and this will affect the workflow and this will affect the manifestation also. And the Bhagavad Gita teaches that being overly attached to the outcomes of our actions can lead to distress and hinder our ability to manifest. By practicing Nishkama Karma or selfless action, we can reduce the importance of outcomes and focus on the purity of our intentions and the dedication of our actions to a higher purpose. This allows us to maintain equanimity and clarity of mind, which are crucial. Now I'll talk about the reduction of importance. When we give a lot of importance to the outcomes of our actions, this will hinder manifestation. When I was reading Reality Transurfing a year back, the author there talks about the demons of importance. Now, the book Reality Transurfing is about metaphysics and how we can consciously choose a reality in which we actually want to live. Now, when we show a lot of importance to our desires and the outcomes of our action, we unconsciously push those desires away from our lives. We unconsciously push those outcomes away from us. Whereas when we are practicing karma yoga, we are reducing the importance of the outcomes of our action to zero by surrendering the process itself and by detaching ourselves from the outcomes of our action. By doing this, we are not pushing our desires or the outcomes away from us. And by doing this, it will become extremely easy for us to manifest the life that we actually want to live. This is very important, and I think this is what is missing in many teachings on law of attraction. We should stop putting a lot of importance on our desires and the outcomes of our action. We should essentially realize that the world that we live in is a result of Maya. It's an illusion, it's a simulation, and it is a projection. And since it is a simulation and it is an illusion, no matter what you desire, no matter what you want, ultimately will not fulfill you. And it will not ultimately take you beyond this illusion. But still, if we want to create a positive, abundant life for ourselves, it is not wrong, but we should essentially understand the nature of reality. And we should stop giving a lot of importance to our desires. By letting go of them, it becomes easier for us to attract them. And here I will read out a quote by Jesus Christ himself. Whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you already have it and it will be yours. It is important for us to understand this. Think about your desires. How will you live your life if you already have them? You will live joyfully, you will live in a fulfilled way, and you will be happy. So don't wait for something to happen in order to feel joy and feel happiness. Make happiness a part of your life. Be joyful right now, and the things you wish will naturally be attracted to you and they will come to you. This is what we need to understand. Another way to put this is that everything is energy and everything is one and everything is vibrating at a certain frequency. So you are at a certain frequency right now, and your desired life, your ideal life is at a different frequency. Only when the frequencies match up can we live our lives the way we wish to, and only then we can live our ideal lives. So in order for that to happen, we need to stop wanting things, and instead we need to simply live as though that ideal life is now. It is here. And by constantly doing it, we will naturally attract it. Now, it is important for you to understand this. There is a certain balance in this universe, and everything wants to stay in the place where it already is. This is inertia. Even if you look at physics and Newton's first law, it states an object at rest remains at rest, or if in motion remains in motion at a constant velocity unless acted on by a net external force. So there is a delicate balance in which the universe is functioning, and there is a balance in which your own life is functioning, and your life is currently going in a certain direction because of the inertia of your past karma. Now, if you want to change the course of your life, and if you want to take control of your destiny, you need to understand this and you need to break away from the inertia. So you need to focus on where you need to be. At the same time, you should not give extreme amount of importance to that goal. This is a subtle balance that we need to achieve in order to truly manifest our dream lives. And coming to another concept that we need to understand when we talk about karma yoga is the concept of yajna. Yajna means an offering to the supreme. So the work that we do should be an offering to a higher cause, a higher self, or towards a higher being. This is very important when it comes to karma yoga. Now coming to the third part, the flow state. This is a very popular concept in the West, the flow state. This is what the greatest athletes on the planet strive for. When people are in that ideal flow state, efficient work becomes natural and amazing, extraordinary results can be achieved. And the secret to this is also karma yoga as per my understanding. Now, flow refers to the mental state which happens when a person is completely focused on a single activity. Now, think about this. All of us at some point in time have achieved or have experienced this flow state. When we are painting, when we are singing, or when we are doing things that we are very passionate about, and when we are totally focused and totally engrossed on that activity, we do not think about anything else. We are not identified with our ego, we are not identified with the world, we are simply involved in the work and we are totally focused on one activity. This is the secret to flow. And the teachings of karma yoga is essential in achieving this flow state. To be in the flow state, you need to be in the present moment. You should go beyond the ego. You should basically detach from the outcomes of your action, because the outcome of your action is in the future, whereas the activity itself is at the present moment. So you need to focus on the present moment and the activity which is in your hand in order to do it efficiently. And karma yoga tells us to do exactly this. Just focus on your work. Do the work that you are supposed to do and do the activity in the best possible way in which you can do it. And leave the outcomes of your action to me, says Krishna in Gita. So, even flow state is simply about this, to focus on the activity and be totally engrossed in it and to surrender to the present moment while being detached from the outcomes of that activity. Even if we think about it practically, this is the best way to perform action. This is the best way to live, because this is the efficient way to live. This is the efficient way to get things done, because results are achieved easily and effortlessly when we follow the principles of karma yoga. And when we detach ourselves from the outcomes of our action and when we surrender our work to that higher self, this also solves the problem of procrastination and distraction. We procrastinate because either we are distracted, since we do not have clear goals in our lives, or we are afraid of failure. Once we surrender the entire work to a higher intelligence, we no longer fear failure. So we go beyond that and we can beat procrastination by having clear goals of what we want to achieve, and by breaking those clear goals into small, achievable, doable tasks. We can clearly focus on the activity at hand instead of worrying about the outcomes of that activity. And to learn about the 4 important steps towards conscious creation in order to make 2024 the best year of your life, check out our video 4 steps to conscious creation, which is shown here. Thank you. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and I'll see you on the next one. If you liked the video, check out this next and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you and welcome to our community.